What's up, team? I'm from United States Army Ranger Joshua Thompson. In this video, I'll be going over the 5 qualities that I believe made me successful when going through schools like RASP and being successful in general when it comes to the 75th Ranger Regiment and SFAS community. If I go over a quality that you guys may feel like you may be lacking in or haven't developed, know that you can obtain these qualities by putting yourself in an environment where you can develop them, such as my Discord server, if you guys want to help support the channel as well. If you guys are serious about building an unbreakable mentality, hit the subscribe button for more future videos just like this one. The first quality I want to talk about is that Rangers have the ability to listen and learn, right? You want to be that humble follower. Now, I know some of you individuals who are in the regular army may disagree with this statement because you may have had bad experiences going through certain schools with Rangers. When you graduate from RASP, it's easy to feel like you're one of the most badass people in the military. And it's technically kind of true. You've proven that you can get through what a lot of people can't get through or won't even attempt. But here's a reality check. You haven't actually done anything in regiment yet. You haven't done anything in the SFAS community, right? You're brand new. Everyone else in regiment has done more stuff, right? When you graduate from RASP, you basically just walk through the door. The real challenge is what comes after. I said it in my last video, it's hard to get into Ranger Regiment, it's harder to stay in. But once you get into Ranger Regiment, you're gonna quickly realize that you don't actually know anything at all. You might have the skills that have gotten you through selection, you might have extensive training when it came to your AIT, but operating at the level that is required at Special Operations is a whole different ballgame. Guys, I was an honor grad in my AIT, and when I got to regiment, I felt like I didn't know anything. Learning some of the processes and tools that I was exposed to when I first got to regiment, I had to literally ask my staff sergeant, am I just slow? Should I be getting this faster? And he would say, no, everyone goes through this. Right, you just got here, brother. He would say brother a lot. If you guys think you know everything and don't need to learn from the guys who've had years of experience doing this stuff, you're setting yourself up for failure. And trust me, when saying this, no one's going to be impressed by your arrogance. In fact, it's the quickest way, not only for your platoon to dislike you, but your leadership is going to actively try to get you RFS'd. Again, Special Operations isn't just about getting through selection and thinking you've made it. It's all about constantly growing, listening, and absorbing those who have more experience than you so that you guys can transform into this razor sharp soldier. You gotta be a humble follower first before you can be that respected leader. The second quality that a Ranger needs is that they need to be highly adaptable. Counter to what you may think, that soft dudes are these badass glorified war heroes who don't fear anything. It's actually quite the opposite, guys. Right? Special Operations is one of the most dangerous and stressful jobs on the entire planet. Every jump I had, I would always attempt to take a nap in the aircraft in order to shut my brain off because I was insanely nervous before every single jump. I would always hit the ground hard, and it is one of my constant fears every single time I would jump. I only lasted in that environment because I was able to adapt and face my fears, and it would get easier and easier and easier every time I would do more and more of that dangerous stuff. Under this adaptability umbrella, there are several niche qualities you also need to develop. The first being that you need to adapt to your environment. I'm not just talking about physically tough environments like the harsh terrains and extreme weather conditions we often find ourselves in. I'm also talking about the culture inside the 75th Ranger Regiment itself. You have to put your best foot forward every single day in the 75th. Right? You earn your scroll every single day. If you can't adapt to this fast-paced and high-stress environment in the 75th Ranger Regiment, you are going to struggle. A Ranger who adapts doesn't just endure stress, they use it as a tool. Stress for me has always been a positive. I know some of you guys are thinking, if I join Special Operations, it's going to be a more relaxed environment and it's going to be a lot less stressful than the regular army, right? You're always going to be surrounded by these quiet professionals. While that may be the case with some other Special Operations units, it's not the case with the 75th Ranger Regiment. And I think that's a great thing, right? Stress is literally the key for massive growth and living a fulfilled life. I personally don't think I could lead a life that doesn't have the stress of risk involved. First of all, it's incredibly boring, but you're literally settling for mediocrity. And I'm sure a lot of you do not want to fall into the trap of mediocrity. just like me. Fulfillment, at least for me personally, is facing challenges, facing my fears, and while yes, this can be extremely stressful, the rewards that you reap from that stressful situation can be immense, immaculate. So you need to understand that each ranger needs adaptability, not to endure stress, but to embrace it and utilize it as a catalyst for your growth. How do you do that? It starts by recognizing that stress isn't the enemy and that it's your greatest tool. Steve Harvey says it best: get comfortable being uncomfortable. The third required quality that every ranger needs to have is they need to have an insanely high work ethic, guys. It is stated in the creed. As a ranger, my country expects me to move further, faster, and fight harder than any other soldier. Right? The creed isn't just words, it's a commitment to that lifestyle. It's a commitment to bring forth your best effort every single day. 100% and then some. If you've seen my AIT video, you know how ruthless I was with my routine, my scheduling, my sleep, my nutrition. There were no compromises, only doing what I needed exactly to ensure that I would go straight through RASP. What separates those who don't make it through selection and those who do often boils down to that individual's work ethic and their desire to make it through. Right? Plenty of guys are fast, strong, and tough. You hear it all the time where individuals look at these big, strong men and they wouldn't make it through selection. Because ultimately, it's a mindset. Not everyone is willing to put in the consistent, grueling grind every single day that it takes in order to be successful. When you're up against the toughest challenges in selection, doing the worm, going on long ruck marches that you don't know are going to end, endless amounts of running during PT, having that deep-seated work ethic is going to drive you and push you through when others are going to oftentimes quit. It's waking up tired and in pain and knowing that the day is full of more of that and still continuing to drive and push towards your goal. The fourth quality that every ranger needs is that they need to have a high level of situational awareness. This isn't just about knowing where you are. It's about understanding your environment, recognizing potential threats, and making quick, effective decisions based on incomplete information. If you're the kind of person who needs to gather all the facts, analyze every single detail, and come up with the most perfect plan before you make a decision, you are going to struggle. Special operations isn't for those who struggle with paralysis by analysis. There are going to be times where you simply just have to make a decision and execute. I remember one specific instance during my land navigation iteration where I learned this the hard way, right? I plotted my points, I planned my route out, and when I got to one of the points, I mistakenly put the information from the point in the wrong spot. And because you have to stamp in that specific point, it's obvious that I messed up. It may seem like a small mistake, but in the world of special operations, that small mistake could have cost me my selection spot. Because of that small error, I automatically failed because by the time that I realized it, I couldn't go back to the point and put the information in the correct spot and come back to the starting point on time. If you're familiar with land nav, you know that you need 4 out of 5 points in order to pass. And because I put the information in the wrong spot and I left, I automatically failed the iteration. When I got back to Coal Range and I shared my scorecard, the cadre's response was simple: you better pay attention next time. And that's exactly what I did, and I didn't make the same mistake again. So what happens if you fail situational awareness? You waste time, you lose focus, and you make mistakes that could cost you your selection spot. And in a high-stakes world like the 75th Ranger Regiment, mistakes like that can be the difference between being successful and failure. You need to have the ability to scan your environment, take in all the information that you have available, and make the best decision that you can and just go with it. That's what situational awareness is all about. Being able to act decisively with the small amount of information that you have available. The fifth quality, and probably the most important quality, is that a ranger needs to have an unshakable belief in themselves. Now I say belief and not confidence because a belief is more deeply ingrained into you than just confidence. Going through selection, you're going to hear a lot of voices. Voices of your buddies who came with you and they're thinking about quitting. Voices of the cadre intentionally trying to break you down, telling you to quit. These voices can be loud and they can make you doubt everything. However, there was one voice that never told me to quit. My own voice. I never once thought I was going to quit. Despite all the signs, despite all the noise telling me to quit, I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to listen to any of that. It had to do with my ability to just shut out all the noise outside and listen to one person, myself. At the end of the day, that's whose voice matters the most when it comes to whether or not you're going to quit. If you tell yourself and you let that stuff sink into you and you're saying, oh, maybe I should quit, you're probably gonna quit. You need to have this ability to just tell yourself, it doesn't matter what my friends are telling me. It doesn't matter what the cadre is saying. I know I'm not going to quit, and eventually I'm gonna make it through this. It's your ability to bet on yourself and having the stubbornness to not listen to anything else. You truly have to believe that no matter what kind of curveball is thrown at you, no matter whose voice gets in your head, that you only listen to one person, yourself. The reality is that most people will start listening to that stuff when things get hard. A ranger will filter out all the noise and do what is necessary in order to become successful. It doesn't matter if the whole world is breaking apart all around you. Don't let the noise around you affect what you know in your heart to be true. There you guys have it. Those are the 5 qualities I believe that are absolutely necessary in order to be successful at RASP and the 75th Ranger Regiment as a whole. So hit the like button if you guys liked what you heard. If you guys thought I missed anything or would like to add your thoughts, comment down in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.